Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to create our first Visual Basic project. What we're going to do here is we're just going to learn about creating and designing our forms. Designing your forms are very important. You need to think about the usability and how they're set up and make them so that they're easy for the user to understand. So we're going to start by opening our Visual Basic. So we're going to start by going to our Start All Programs. We're going to go to Microsoft Visual Studio 2010. We're going to open that. Okay, we're going to go to File. We're going to do New Project. Okay, I never want to see Windows Application 1, so we're going to change the name of our Windows application. We're going to rename it Hotel Room Selection. I'm going to click OK. And what this is going to do is this is going to create a new project. Okay, and the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to make sure that our toolbox is visible. If our toolbox is not visible, if it looks like this, what you're going to do is you're going to go over here, see your toolbox. There's a little push pin right here. Okay, you can just click on that push pin, and what that'll do is that'll make your toolbox visible. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to start by renaming our form. So Form 1 over here, we're going to right click. We're going to choose Rename. Okay, you don't want to rename this VB, so what we're going to do is we're just going to click over here. Okay, and we're going to rename this. Always you want to keep what type of object this is. Now you can do that at the end by renaming it Hotel Room Selection Form. The format that our book uses is they do it at the beginning. So FRM, Hotel Room Selection. Okay, so what that does is that renames our hotel room selection. Okay, we're going to go up here. You can see that that renames it here, Name Form Hotel Room Selection. So we want to make sure that our hotel room selection is renamed here. If it's not, you can just rename it Form Hotel Room Selection. You want to make sure it matches here and that it also matches in the properties. Okay, so you can see that these are the properties. Okay, we don't want it to be form up here, so we're going to, that's our text property, so we're going to rename our text property here. We're going to rename it Hotel Room Selection. Now this is for our users, for the benefit of our users, so there's no conventions here. This is what our user sees so that the user knows what they're doing. So there's no convention here except that it has to be usable for the users. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to resize our form. I've got my scan going on here. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab the corner of our form. We're going to resize it to 430 by 395. So you're going to, we're going to do this 395, and then we're going to change it to 430 here. 430, 430, and 395. Okay. If you look down here in this section here, you'll see the form size. Okay, look down in the bottom right hand corner. Okay, the size here, 430 by 395. So you can do it there too, 430, comma, 395. Easy way to do it. Okay, so you can do it by dragging it or by resizing it that way. Okay, the next thing we want to do is we want to add a label object. Okay, all your objects are over here in the left. Okay, alphabetical. Okay, so we're going to go down, we're going to find label. Okay, you can either click on the label and you can drag to make your label object, or you can double click to create a label object. Okay, what we're going to do is we are going to rename it. So this is for the computer. The computer is going to know the naming convention here. We call it label. Okay, this is our heading, so we have to give it a name that the programmer can understand. So label heading. Okay, now for the user. Okay, that's our text property. We're going to call it hotel room. Let's see, hotel room, label heading, hotel room selection. Okay. Then we're going to go in here. Now, it should say format up here. Okay, you should have the format option. If you don't, you can right click up here, make sure that layout is selected. If layout is not selected, just click on it to select it. Okay, so what we're going to do here now is we're going to format. Okay, we're going to make sure it's centered in the form, horizontal. Okay, then we're going to go into the font property. Font. Okay, we're going to click on the ellipsis. Okay, we're going to change the font to Tahoma. Okay, we're going to make it bold and we're going to make it 16. Okay, that does not look like it's centered in the form. Format, center in form, horizontal. There it goes. Okay, make sure it's centered in the form. It should be centered in the form horizontal. Okay, so it's centered in the form. Actually, if you do it centered in the form after you change the font, that's probably better. Okay, next we're going to do a picture box. LMNOP, picture box. Again, double click. Okay, we're going to put it down here about here. Okay. LMNOP, here's our size. Okay, our size for our picture box should be about 185, 150. Okay, or you can use your sizing handles to make it 185 by 150. Okay, I like it that way because it's just easier, it's faster. Okay, sizing handles. We are going to name the picture box. Okay, remember this is for the computer, so we need to use our naming conventions. Pick for picture box, and it's going to be for standard room. Standard room. Okay, this does not have a text property. No text property. Why? Because this is a picture. Okay, it's not going to have a text property. Okay, but it is going to have an image property. Okay, an image property because you're going to put an image in it eventually. Not right now, but eventually this would have an image. Okay, we're going to put another picture box in here. LMNOP, picture box. Okay, now we're going to put this one here. Now, we want to make this picture box the same size as this picture box. Now, we can look at the size of this picture box and make this picture box the same size, or we can select this picture box, hold down our control key, select this picture box, go to our format menu, go to make the same size, and choose both. Now, it's important that you select this one first and then this one because, watch this, if we do undo, now watch, if we pick this one first and then this one, and then we go to format and make same size, oh, what happens? It goes the other way. So whichever one you pick first, okay, whichever one you pick first is going to make it the same size as the one that you picked first. So we go format, make same size, okay, and we pick the one first that we want to match the sizing on, okay. So we're going to make them the same size, okay, and then what we're going to do, same thing, pick this one first, then this one, and then we're going to go to format, align, oops, format, align, oops, format, align, sorry, and we're going to align the bottoms, okay. We're going to have to move this one over just a little bit. There we go. And now see, we have them nice and even in the box. Okay, and now we want to select them both. Okay, and we're going to format and we're going to center them in the form horizontally. Okay, and they're already centered, so it didn't really move them at all. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to add 3 button objects. So same thing, button starts with a B, button, 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 3 button objects. And we're just going to put those down here. Button, button, button. And see, it sort of adds, see, look how it aligns. Okay, see those little lines there? See the lines, how they line up? Okay, see those lines? So we can actually do some aligning just by where we put them in the page. So we can do that. We can do some of the aligning as we line them up, but we're going to have to still do some changing when we set them up. So what we're going to do is we're going to change our properties on these. So our first button is going to be button standard room, BTN standard, oops, room, no spaces. If we put a space in here, it's going to give us an error. Can't do that. No spaces allowed. Okay, button standard. I can misspell, but I can't put spaces. And we're going to change this to say standard. Oops, because this is for the people. Okay, my second button is going to be button select room. I'm going to go ahead and change my text property because I'm already here. So I'm going to put select room. I'm going to go up to my name property and I'm going to do button select room. And then my third button is going to be button deluxe room. And then I'm going to go down here. We don't have spell check here, so we need to be careful with our spelling, because that's really embarrassing if we do something and there's a spelling error. Now we have a bit of a problem because our buttons are not big enough. So we're gonna make this one bigger. Okay, and then what are we gonna do? We're gonna go and we're gonna select all 3, and then we're gonna do this thing, make same size, and then we're going to do this. And make sure that all of your words fit. And they all fit, so that's good. So if they don't fit, then what you need to do is you need to pick the one with the biggest size, and then we're going to make them all fit. Just nice and uniform. Everything looks the same size. If you've got buttons that are all different sizes all over your form, it just doesn't look right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to align those centers. Format, align, oops, format, align, center. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Undo. I want to align middles. Oops. Undo. And then I want to do format align. Sorry. I want to align middles. Okay. But look at this. I want to align the centers on these. Format align centers. Format align centers. Okay, that kind of mucked them up, so let's do this. Move this over a little bit there. That looks better, doesn't it? And then let's just kind of move this one in between these two. Kind of don't like that, do we? Doesn't look right. That looks better. Okay, so now these are aligned centers, these are aligned centers, these are all aligned middles, and then this is in between the two. So there we go. We've got all that. We've got all that lined up. Okay, so now next we want to their form looks bigger than mine. Why won't that go over there? Good golly, Miss Molly. Stay. There we go. Stay. Stay. Okay. Well, whatever. Okay, now, let's see. The next thing we need to do is we need to add a label object. I'm not liking this. Checking my form size. 430 by 395, right? What is that? 430 by 395? Yeah. Checking my sizing here. Checking my sizing. 430 by 395. 430 by 395. Checking my pictures. 185 by 150. 185 by 150. Okay. Alright. Fine. Okay, add a label object. Next. HI. Label. Okay, so we're going to double click to add a label object. There's my label object right there. Okay, now it says, place it below the buttons. We're going to use the techniques and we're going to call it label instructions. Okay, same thing. Remember, we got to call it label instructions. Instructions. Okay, now we need to change our text property. Okay, change our text property, and our text property is going to give it instructions. So what we want it to say is we want it to say choose a room type and then click the select select room button. Okay, same thing, we need to change the font property. Font, click the ellipsis, Tahoma, regular, 10 point. Okay, what are we going to do? We're going to center this on the form. Center in form horizontally. Okay, we need another label. Okay, double click, move it down to the bottom. Okay, what are we going to call it? We're going to call it label. What are we going to call it? We're going to call it label confirmation message. Label confirmation message. Okay, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to change the text property. Okay, the text property is you have completed your room selection. Okay, same thing, change the font property. Okay, font property, click on the ellipsis, Tahoma, regular, 10. Okay, center it on the form, format, center in form horizontally. Okay, we need a button object. Okay, button. Okay, we need a button object. We need to change the name. Okay, remember, button, exit window. Okay, we need to change the text property. Exit window. Okay, we want it to be the same size, right? Select the size you want to match first. Control, format, make same size, both height and width. Width. This is really bothering me. Format, align, horizontal spacing, make equal. Sorry, that was really bothering me. Okay. Okay, format, center and form horizontally. Okay. Format, centering form horizontally. Format, centering form horizontally. Okay, so see how everything looks nice and uniform. That's the key. Okay, we need to make sure everything looks aligned, everything is nice and aligned appropriately. Okay, everything should be lined up. Okay, if you think this is too close to the top, you can move it down. Okay, there's nothing that says you need it to be right at the top. Okay, that's just kind of a visual thing. Okay. Okay, same thing with this. You can do this. Okay, select all this. Okay, same thing. Format, vertical spacing, make equal. Okay. So if it's bothering you, make it equal. Okay, all those are in there to help you to make your form have a nice uniform look. Okay, when you're done, File, Save All. Okay, Save All. Note where it is. Users, Linnea, Documents, Visual Studio 2010, Projects. Okay, if you can't remember, copy. Okay, put it in a notepad or something to remember it. Okay, save. Okay, make sure you create a directory for your solution. You need that because that's how you're going to zip it. You're going to zip that directory and turn it in, so make sure that's checked. Save. Okay, once it's saved, you can go ahead and close that. Okay, then you're going to go, okay, it was in Documents. Okay, it was in, oh my God, what a mess. Visual Studio, Projects. There it is right there, Hotel Room Selection. Right click, Send to, Compressed. Okay, there it is, Zip. Okay, that's what you're going to turn in. Okay, do I have you turn this in or did you just do that as an exercise? Whatever. Okay, that's it. That's all there is. Good luck.